If you guys want to see more content like this, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you've got any more ideas about what I should do. Welcome in. Today I have some interesting things to show you. What if we took Kendo from the Ghost Survivors out of his little playground that he has inside of the mode and took him outside the map? Starting off, we're going to turn around at the very start and go back into that room that you remember from the cutscene. Kendo goes there in there with his daughter, Emma Kendo. I wasn't really expecting to see much in this room. As you can see, we got a few weird textures. That texture there is only viewable on one side of the room, which is pretty interesting. Sad that we don't get to see Emma in here. I was hoping for maybe like a T-posing model or something of the sort, how some games like to do that. They hide characters outside when they're done using them for a cutscene, but it's unfortunate. So now we're going to take Kendo down into the sewers. And as you see, we already took him out of where he's supposed to be, and his character model doesn't really like that. And I'm using the RE2 trainer to do this, so to just have the freedom to go anywhere we want in the map. And we're going to go into the sewers. As you can see, it's a bit strange being above where you're supposed to be, looking down. The sewers kind of looks almost like a little maze while you're walking above it. It's pretty interesting to see from this view, seeing it from outside of where you're supposed to be. So here we're coming up on one of my actual favorite discoveries from doing this video, is the alligator in the sewers. You see, it's sitting here fully rendered, which I was very surprised at. And it's T-posing in the sewers, just waiting. It's kind of interesting that it's here, because when you first come here, I'm not sure if someone will correct me. Maybe you hear it scuttle across in the sewers when you come here as Leon. I'm not sure, but I know definitely you don't see it at first here. But I find it pretty interesting that it's just stuck here as well, almost perfectly fitting into the sewers, just T-posing. But they left it over here, which this leads me to believe that Ghost Survivors it's not sectioned off from the rest of the game like I thought. Everything else in the game is still rendered if you go to that area while you're playing Ghost Survivors, which I thought is pretty interesting. I guess the game's just optimized enough to where that doesn't matter. So here we have a different view from the alligator. You get to see a little bit underneath him. Yeah, I thought this was pretty interesting. Definitely my favorite thing from doing this. As you can see there, you can see him off in the distance. Now we're running along the track of where you run from the alligator in the little sequence. Sadly, the pipe that you use to actually kill the alligator isn't explodable. The trigger doesn't work unless you're being chased by the alligator. The sewer is almost, I mean, I've never been in sewers myself, but it's kind of strange. It does look almost like a miniature maze down there. Pretty interesting to see. So now we're coming back up out of the sewer, and we're going to head into the RPD. Now in Ghost Survivors, Kendo does enter through the parking garage down into, I guess, I don't know what to call it, the first part of the sewers, basically underneath the RPD. But we're gonna go actually inside the RPD here. We're gonna go in through the door from the parking garage instead of going down like the game wants us to. Little side note, I think it's pretty interesting. The characters do automatically use their flashlight in a dark area. It's not scripted. It's to say when you take out your flashlight. Also, another interesting thing, those doors that I just walked through, they have prompts. If you've been paying attention, none of the other doors that I've walked through, we had prompts to actually interact with the doors. I've just clicked through them. These doors Kendo actually interacts with, which, assuming that the devs just left over, so they forgot to take the triggers off those doors for whatever reason. So I thought it was pretty interesting. It's just those doors that I've noticed. I haven't come across any other doors that had triggers like that. You can see the typical RPD. Most things are closed down. All the dead cop models are still there. It's just really surprising to me that all this is still fully rendered and you will never see it in Ghost Survivors. It's just left over from the main game. So I'm gonna leave you guys here to just take in the sights of the RPD completely empty as Kendo explores it. If you've got any more interesting ideas for me to see in RE2 or RE3, leave them down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed watching this video, leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thank you guys again. Have a nice day.